what is your definition of success, and what is your secret towards that?
Mm. My definition would be kind of like you said, doing something you love and being able to be happy with that and live off of that. Um, and then as far as like my recipe, I would say one thing I am is relentless. Like when it came to YouTube, you have to be relentless or anything really that you want that's not per se coming overnight. And YouTube definitely did not like put me in a position where I could quit my job overnight.
Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable. In this episode, I speak with Jarvana, a YouTuber, influencer, and tech enthusiast. She's the founder of Techmeout, a YouTube channel where she talks about everything technology, from product reviews, unboxings for Android and iOS, etc., etc. You can only imagine how her YouTube channel is. Join me on this episode as she discusses her journey into the technology world, challenges, and how she was able to navigate through them and grow her channel to over 370,000. That's right, 370,000 subscribers. Over. Never stop pursuing your dreams. That's pretty much what you're going to get from this episode. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. So, hey, Techmeout, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I thank you for having me.
So I know that my audience doesn't know too much about you and your story, and I would love for them to get to know you and how you got into this point, because you have 150K, over 150K subscribers. How does that feel? We'll go into that later.
Yes.
You know, you got high reach in social media. So tell us your story and how you got there?
So I started by making like jailbreak tutorials, which are like phone reviews on YouTube. And it was like when I started doing those, I noticed like I was one of a few kind of like on the YouTube spectrum in terms of being a female in the technology space up there. So I also wanted to not just educate people about, I guess, different things regarding technology and their phone, but also possibly encourage other women out there to get into the field as well and make themselves sing because we have a voice. So that's kind of where it all started a couple of years ago. I think it was like 6 years ago now. So it started there and then evolved into being more than just phone tutorials and more into just technology as a whole, from phone unboxings, product unboxings, reviews. I do like top Amazon deals. So if you shop heavy on Amazon, you definitely want to check that out. I do top 5 iPhone apps. So I just try to cover like a large spectrum of technology from iOS to Android on my channel.
So, okay, now before that, because I'm sure that you've done other things before that. Like, what made you, can you tell us a little bit about your background and then what had you transition into these, videos?
So I will say I've always loved technology and I've always loved photography. So videography came about when I started my YouTube channel, but I've always loved like just things in the creative arts spectrum, from graphic design and things like that. So I've always kind of like hunted, or not hunted, but like looked for something that would allow me to do all of the things I love. During that hunt, I was pursuing psychology. And then from there, I moved into instructional technology and then slowly found that YouTube, of all things, allows me to do all the things in which I enjoy doing, which is like playing with technology, videography, photography, graphic design. Like I never really looked at it as being a possibility of something that would encompass all of these things under one umbrella. So that's really where it all evolved, just kind of like having these natural passions and then finding something that allows me to nurture them and also make a living off of these natural passions. So.
Yeah, because you went from doing it as just your passion to taking it full time. Can you take us through that transition and then how you felt?
I will say it was surreal. Like, I don't know. something that I've always worked towards, something that I wanted to do. And at first it was like an inkling of an idea. And then all of a sudden it just like became like I just became obsessed with the idea because I really enjoyed what I was doing. And it started to help me distinguish the difference between enjoying or liking something that you do and loving what you do. So it's like when I wanted to take it full time, I knew that I needed certain things in place. And a lot of the things that people don't see is the work that you put in behind the scenes. So I would go in and work, my 8 to 9 hour shift, go home, get a little rest. And at the time when I started YouTube, I was actually in school working on my master's. So I was juggling that on top of trying to balance time to make videos. So it was like never ending, it felt like, in terms of work, but it paid off. You just definitely have to be persistent and consistent with it.
So how often were you posting? Like, was there like a trick to it, or would you say that you had like a strategy?
In the beginning,
goals? Yeah.
And I had definitely had goals, but sometimes struggled in reaching them. In the beginning, I struggled with consistency because I was juggling so much. So oftentimes YouTube would get on the back burner, so to speak, and I would go weeks without uploads. And I learned from that I can't keep up that pattern. So since then, I try to upload at least every week. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 times a week, but I can at least promise my viewers a video every week. So,
wow. Yeah. Okay. So how does your day look now? Like, take us through your schedule.
Oh, man.
Does it depend on the day of the week, or is it pretty consistent?
Let's see. I don't think the day of the week is per se a factor as much of what's going on in the tech space in reference to like if there was a recent release or something that was just announced. Kind of like, your news station, you want to be one of the first to talk about that on YouTube. But if there's nothing like that going on, we'll wake up and just like handle some emails, write out some ideas of what I want to say in a video and probably record. I record at least every other day.
Hold on. Timestamp it for me. Okay. I need to know like what time you wake up.
Oh, man. Oh, you want timestamp?
Success.
Okay. I try to get up by like 8 or 9. I want to actually push that further. I want to get up at like 6 or 7, but I'm not the best morning person, but I'm trying to be. I want to be because I notice when I wake up that early, by the time like 12 o'clock hits, I just feel like I have gotten so much accomplished. So it's a really rewarding feeling by the end of the day in terms of productivity. So I want to get up that early, but it's about 8 or 9. And then, I get ready and everything for the day. I'll probably drink some coffee, breakfast, shower, of course, everything like that, and then proceed with the work. So I get myself situated before I sit down and start working.
I know I'm a night owl.
Me too.
By heart.
Me too.
I feel like waking up early for me is around 8 or 9 because, okay, let's say if I go to bed like at 1 o'clock in the morning and I wake up at 9, how many hours is that of sleep, right?
Because I'm like, I know I work late, but I want to get up early, and that's not always conducive,
I have struggled with that so badly.
Yes.
I have seen, the early bird gets the worm. Yes. You're more productive. You wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, how do they do it? Because even if I was to go to bed early, I still wake up at 8 or 9.
I know what you mean, because there are times where I have gone to bed early and I'm like, why did I still sleep to this time? It's like your body, I think, starts to get used to getting up at that time, though.
It does.
Mm-hmm. So I definitely feel you. I'm a night owl, so I like to work late. And but I'm trying to switch it. It's not that easy.
Me too. If you ever figure it out, let me know. Okay, so now you got your coffee, you taking your shower.
Yes.
Now what's happening?
Now I'm probably sitting at my computer, checking my email and figuring out what I want to record or do for the day. So in all honesty, I use this app called Long Day. I don't know if it's for Android. I know it's for iOS. And it allows you to like see pretty much all the different time slots of the day. So I'll go in there and I'll map out what I want to do. So it helps out a ton because, I notice that I get in the habit of like having 20 different tasks in my mind. and then like a mental map of what I want to do by a certain time. And it doesn't always work that way. But this kind of holds me accountable because when that particular time of the day hits that has something next to it, I'll get a notification like, you need to get your car washed at this time. Like, oh, I got that, and it really helps you figure out how many hours you have in a day or not how many hours you have in a day, but like how much time you have to designate to the things that you want to get done. So it really helps keep me in sync, take time to eat. Cause I don't know if you have this issue, but like, you get enthralled in work and,
oh yeah,
and food is like water and that's it. You don't really have a meal. You're just drinking water.
All I have is water in my office.
So
all different kinds. Like all different kinds.
Yes.
Well, I do have that issue that I forget. Like, oh, it's 2:00. I should have had something to eat, but let me just knock this out. Let me just, finish this. I do want to go more into your organization and long day. We're going to get to that. Okay. So now you're on your app. You're like figuring out what your day is. Mm-hmm. You're marking things. Mm-hmm. What other calendars do you use?
I use fantastic.How, which is a calendar app. I think that's iOS as well. I'm not sure if it's on Android. But that just really helps me see, I guess, if I have any meetings or like anything specific for that day. I know typically on my calendar what I'll go in and write for like the week of and the following week are videos that I want to complete. So like, say for instance, I have for Saturday of this week and then the following week that I want a certain video to go live on Saturday and a certain video to go live on Tuesday. That helps me figure out what I need to record. And so that if I wanted to record one thing that was totally unrelated to what needs to be completed, it keeps me on task. Like, no, this video is due Saturday, so I need to record this.
Yeah, because how when you're creative.
Exactly. You do what you feel like doing. And not what needs to be done. So it keeps me centered. Like, no, you need to work on this project because that one's due later. So this one's due now. So we need to focus on this. So it keeps me in line.
Yeah, that's one of the things I struggle with. Like, I remember the other day I was like knocking out a certain project, but then I had another, like, I'm trying to like launch my website too, like by August. Mm-hmm. Right now we're in July 2019. But anyways, just in case when this comes out, but I'm trying to launch my website. And so I got other tasks to do that are more important, that are higher priority. And I'm like, but I got to finish my website,
Yes.
And then you get sucked into that creative, like, oh, this is looking good. And sometimes I go with that creative flow and I need to do what you do because obviously it's working.
It helps. It definitely helps. And then it lets you see or feel like a sense of accomplishment. When you go back and you look at long day and you see all of the things that you actually completed or did not complete, or the things on the calendar for videos that I did complete or did not complete. So it helps out a ton. I can tell when I don't do it because I feel flustered. I feel all over the place. But when I take the time to do these two things, I feel like better organized. I just feel better all as a whole, mentally and physically,
Yeah. Okay. So you got your shower, got your coffee, got your apps and set, you got your calendar. Mm-hmm. What time is this?
Oh gosh. This is probably getting close to lunchtime.
Okay. And now what do you do now?
So now either I will keep working and like push lunch back even further, or I'll go ahead and take
3:00. I got it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's when it happens. If it doesn't happen at noon, it happens. Yes.
I know the night owl line.
Yes. It's so good to meet another.
No. I feel you.
Yeah, but like I'll end up eating at that time or later. And if I choose to eat at that time, then I might take a little break to kind of just decompress a little bit and then go back to work about 2 or 3. But if I don't lunch at that time, then the lunch happens at 3. So, but yeah, typically.
Yeah, because lunch is not that important.
No, right? Who needs to eat, right? Just drink water. You're good. Especially when you got variety, like, come on.
You got some sparkly water or some regular water.
Exactly.
Okay. So now you got your schedule, you got food out the way or maybe in way.
Yes.
Now what are you doing? Now, is this your heart work right here? Is this where you're knocking out?
This is typically when recording starts occurring. Like either that'll be at my house or I'll go out. Lately, I've been trying to get out just to change up the scene. And it looks so nice when you have like some greenery behind you, like some trees or something. Just, I don't know. I just love shooting outdoors. I just don't like dealing with bugs. I'm not a nature person in that sense. So it's like, it's hard for me to focus sometimes when I'm in an area where they're really bad, you know? So outside of that, though, I really enjoy recording outdoors just to give it a different light. So, yeah. But
Okay, so you're recording.
yeah, recording. And then after I record, I'll go in, dump my footage, review my footage. And depending on how long I was recording, because that can really vary, I'll go ahead and start editing. But if it's closer to maybe about 7 or 8, I'll probably will go ahead and eat and then edit. So like dump my footage and eat while that's being unloaded onto the computer and then come back and edit. And then that's creeping on into the night.
Yeah. Because you're excited. You're like,
yes.
I gotta get this done now.
Yeah. I can release it. So yeah, then that typically happens and I edit for the rest of the evening, shower, probably edit some more. So yeah, then I'm in the bed about maybe 1 or 2. Around there.
I know how it is. I'm trying.
Around there. Yeah.
Okay. So now you got your editing. Mm-hmm. What do you do the next day? Like, what are your priorities for the next day once you shoot these videos and shoot this footage?
So the next priority then is getting it live on my channel. So I have like a checklist. Actually, I have like a whiteboard that's like in front of me right now. And it's like, it has different things up there from a day, like a week view, so that I can write down different things to do. But I have up there a checklist of things that I need when I take my video live. For instance, the video itself, I have a pic for my Instagram feed, a pic for my Insta story, and then a video clip for Instagram as well. So I'm looking at the list now. That way I don't forget these different things that I need to pretty much spread across social to let my viewers know as well outside of YouTube that the video is live.
Do you change up this list or is it pretty consistent?
No, sometimes I don't need all of those. Sometimes it's just a picture and sometimes it's just a video. So I just try to make sure that I have at least one of those 3 things so to go along with the video. So I'll take the video live. I'll make sure my title's good, my thumbnail's good, my description, my keywords for the video. And then I'll start to try to promote on my other social media platforms to just increase engagement and the audience as a whole. So.
Okay, I have a question. So what day is this? So is this Monday? Is this Tuesday?
Let's say the day before was Monday and this is Tuesday. Right. But yeah, it started on Monday, carried on into Tuesday. So by noon, I typically, especially if I did something like that where I'm working the day before in the afternoon, the night of, and then the following day I'm working the morning, by noon, my goal typically is to have that video live.
So usually you have your videos live by Tuesdays?
Or not, I don't have a date, I don't have a schedule for when I take videos live, just that they'll expect a video at least once a week, but I don't have a set day.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So the schedule can vary, but that's how it looks, I guess, on average. But it's not consistently like that. I'm sorry. Let me put my stuff on Do Not Disturb.
Oh my goodness.
That way we don't get any notifications. Hold up. All right, there we go. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, we were saying.
Now we're on Wednesday.
A Wednesday, yeah. So it can vary because I don't per se have a certain routine per day. Like Mondays look like this, Tuesdays look like that. It really varies, but that's just like an average day for me. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So aside from shooting videos, what else are you doing within your business?
Well, I shoot videos primarily, take sometimes photos, but that's all like, sorry, I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower.
I could. There's a lawnmower.
I'm like,
like some beautiful music.
Right. It's that background, vocal there. Outside of that, that's typically what I do for my YouTube channel. But I do occasionally do other video work outside of that, like weddings or if someone needs photos or videos done for promotion of either their business or just for their social media, I'll do that. But that's typically what I do for my YouTube channel.
So then you have one-on-one clients as well. So you handle
Yeah.
that aspect of the business.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go into your organization as far as these calendars.
Yes. They help out a ton. So we got Long Day. We talked about that, which is the app. And then the calendar itself on your phone, which you have at all times. So you can jot down what videos you want done. But then I have a whiteboard as well that has a week view. So I can see Sunday through Saturday. And in that section, what I will write are things like that I want to accomplish during the day. So it has like for each day of the week, that has like maybe 4 or 5 blocks under the day. So I'll just write 4 or 5 major things that I definitely want to accomplish by the end of the day, so I can see how many of those things I actually was able to complete. So it's like in support of the Long Day app. And then it has a notes section on the whiteboard, which I don't really use that too much. And then it has a priority section. And with that section, I typically will write videos, like video ideas that I want to complete. Not per se during the week, but just as a whole. And then it has another section for notes. And that's where I wrote pretty much what I was sharing in terms of what supports the video to share with my following on my other social media platforms. So all of that is on one whiteboard.
Yeah, I love that because, I've been trying to utilize my whiteboard. I do have one.
Yeah.
I've been using mine more like a grander scheme or a grander, picture. So I have kind of like right now on my whiteboard, I have like a sales funnel, like an email funnel.
Whiteboards being used, yes.
And I have like certain sequences, and I have like my blog, my podcast, and my social media. Because I feel like those are, one is a website.
Yeah.
One is the audio, and then one is, for social media.
Right.
And then from there, I have like a call to action. Like, what is the call to action?
Okay.
And because the call to action usually means that you're inviting other people to do something.
Right.
So in my blog, what am I trying to get them to? How am I trying to get their emails, I guess? I love you guys. Give me your emails.
Right.
And then you'll get, this freebie. Then I have an email sequence from the call to action. Like, what's the email sequence I'll have in each of those? Because if they're coming from the blog, where am I going to take them if they sign up for certain things? Or on the podcast, maybe I can do Techmeout tips,
Yeah. I see that. I like that. I love like other things like this, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I call it like the pamper. That's how you pamper them, through the email sequence. They get to know you more. Because when you have people on your email, it's more personable. Yeah, social media is there, but you have someone directly on their phone, directly, like, that they'll be reading, that they'll be checking out. They're probably they're swiping, archiving, or reading.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely feel you there.
And then from there, I have like what my products and services are. So where do I want them to kind of like funnel into? And then I have a little checklist of like the freebies that I want to create and I want to pour into. Because the freebies, they're not just like for email capture. They're actually like to help my audience and to help them, grow as an entrepreneur and, grow as a business. So tips, all things that I've learned along the years. And then I have percentages. I have like my goals, percent I want to convert, and all that. So that's my whiteboard. And then I have kind of like, I'm trying to do a vision board.
Yes.
But I do not have a vision board yet. One day.
Right.
Do you have a vision board?
No, but I wanted to do the same thing.
Yes, right? We should get together and do that.
Yes, exactly. We should get that done.
But I have basically 2 months out.
Okay.
And I get to see my, like, I get to see my calendar 2 months out. Like, what am I doing? What meetings do I have? What projects do I have? And things like that. So that's my app.
Sounds good to me.
But I do want to try to get, I guess the way I use, how do you use your phone? And then I'll talk about how I use my phone.
Oh man. I use my
Yeah.
phone like a computer almost.
Yeah.
Like that is
Okay.
my computer when I'm on the go. So I use it heavily to take photos for social media, to respond to emails, to organize my day, like we talked about there.
Hmm.
So that is my computer when I'm not at my computer.
Okay. What other apps do you have? Since you use it like a computer, I'm sure you have like certain apps that are
Okay.
your go-to.
Another app that I've been using really heavy lately is called Notebook. So this is like your Google Keep, if you're familiar with that, or your Notes app for iPhone where you
Okay.
go write down different things. So I like it because it's on my iPhone, it's on my Android devices, it's on my computer, so it's on all the platforms. So I'll go in there and I have different notebooks, such as a business notebook where I will write things like for my business that I want to do, a script notebook where I'll write like key points that I want to talk about in different videos. So I have all these different notebooks and different pages in these notebooks, and that keeps me organized regardless of what device I'm on. So
Ah,
that
okay. I got something that can counter that. Okay, go ahead.
okay, go ahead. I'm interested to hear yours.
Okay, so my version of that is
Okay.
Trello.
Trello. I don't think I've played with that. I'm gonna have
Oh
to
shoot!
download that.
I'm
You
schooling
put me
you.
on
I can't
something.
believe it.
Right. Let me see that TRELLO.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
So
downloading.
basically, how it basically has boards. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll be talking about whiteboards and stuff like that. So it works on boards. And
Okay.
so you can create however many boards you want. And so I have like my shop, I call it at the shop board, that my
Okay.
team and I go in and we see certain things. I have my to-do list. They have their to-do list,
Mm-hmm.
what they need to do and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have like my projects, my clients and stuff like that, and what's in progress and stuff like that. So those are all in cards within the board.
Okay. I'm
I
seeing
also
it.
have within it, I also have my social media where I keep my tags, my Instagram tags, because I can't be tagging that up all day. I copy and
Right.
paste it.
No, I like that though.
So I
Yeah,
have
that's smart.
different, yeah, I have like fashion tags. Like if I'm doing a fashion post, I have fashion tags that I use. If I'm doing just a regular post, I have a regular post tags that I use. And I try to keep
Okay.
it pretty consistent. Then I have a board that's just like, all podcast related and all like even invite my clients so they can see where we're at in the process of what we're doing for them.
Mm. Okay. I like the fact that you incorporated your clients into that so that if they're curious, because even in being like an influencer on YouTube, that could come in hand when you're working with brands.
Oh
So that when
yeah.
they're coming in to see your status, you can just say, if you want to find out where I am with the project, just check in here. I like that. It's
Yeah, because
transferable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't have it before with clients because I'm like, why would I, it's a learning curve and all this other
Right,
stuff. But it's actually
right.
pretty easy, especially since you can click and drop anything, you can move things
Mm-hmm.
over. I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna love it because
It seems like
if you like that notebook, you're gonna love Trello.
yes, it seems like it would definitely be on my top list. I might have to add that to my top 5.
You do,
Give you
you do.
recognition for that.
This is my top one. This is my top one.
Right, right.
It has
OD and
everything.
two.
And you can even keep your calendar in here. Like, so I'll show you. I wonder if you can see a little bit. So
A little
there's
bit.
like, and so you can slide it, you can move it over. So those are all the
Oh
cards and
wow.
stuff. You can even have the days of the week if you want. And so check this out. So if
I like that.
I can move it over here
I like that. So I
and you can
guess
access it on the computer and on your phone.
even better. You sold me. I was sold to begin with, but like, yeah, this is impressing me even more as you're talking about it. So I guess with having such a good app recommendation for app number 1, I have to know what app number 2 is.
Now you got your notebook here. Let me see
Okay,
if I can
thanks. I
count
gotta
it
give you
because I
my
get ideas from you.
app number 2,
Okay.
Camcard.
Okay.
That is a must-have. It is basically a scanner in your phone for business cards. So, like, say for instance, you're at an event. Like my main time that I think about that it came in like hand was at CES. And for those that aren't aware what that is, it's the Consumer Electronics Show. So you can look at it as your Disney World of tech. And this is where a lot of companies will come and reveal what they're going to be bringing out maybe the year of, or maybe in the upcoming years. but it's allowing them to showcase their items. And there are a lot of brands out there, a lot of business cards, a lot of connections. So I use that basically for every business card I received. And you can take a photo of the business card, it scans it into the app, and then populates all the information for you from the scan. So it populates the person's name, their phone number, address, all of that. And it still retains the original image of the card so that you don't have to physically keep it. Or if you choose to keep it, you can. But if you lose it, you always have a virtual copy. And it lets you put your business card in there. So that, say, for instance, you're out and about, you no longer have any more business cards on you, you can still share your business card with somebody else.
That's awesome.
So it's, oh my gosh, I love that thing because I did end up losing some business cards. And thank God I had scanned it. Like as soon as I would get a business card, I'm like literally taking the photo in the moment. That's how serious it was. And I think there are even 3D actions for Camcard. So 3D actions meaning like you can force press on it and it will, I don't know if you can see my screen, but you see that you can, oh, it just went, oh, I just activated Siri, Lord have mercy. But nonetheless, you get the picture.
Yeah.
You can force press it and you can either scan the card or send your card or capture the card without even having to open the application.
Oh,
So,
do you have a video for this?
Yes, I think I mentioned it in the top 5 app video. So
I will put that there. So I have nothing whatsoever to counter that one.
Oh man.
I mean, the one that I did use an app. I forgot the name of it, but when I was going to like a conference, and so I was digitally sending my cards like through, like I created it. I don't have any business cards.
Okay.
You know I need to have.
Yes.
But I would digitally create it. It'll, create this picture and then I'll just send it via text. And that's how I got everyone information and stuff like that. But I think I might have to invest in that cam card. Okay, girl, you one up me.
Yes, definitely get cam card. I think everybody that has a business of some form should have it because you're going to connect with people. And when you connect with them, you don't want to lose their information. And this that you don't, so yeah, I definitely encourage everybody to get it.
I still believe in the physical card, like the business card.
That's why when you said that, I was like, I don't really think it's per se like a bad thing because honestly, even when you hand out a business card, the person's information ends up in the phone anyway, and 9 times out of 10 from there, I feel like they probably may not keep the card. Where do you put them? I feel like they're being phased out like CDs. But CDs have the digital form now where clearly that's what everybody goes to and knows to go to. And not as many people go to the store to buy CDs. But when it comes to business cards, I'm not sure if there's that, so to speak, go-to digital format of that, like there are for CDs. Like
that's true.
If you didn't have a physical business card, then what do? You send it electronically, but there's not like a go-to way to do it that everybody's like conditioned to do instead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So one of the things I did is just collect emails. Just send me your email. I'll send you my business card through email.
And that is true. That is the second go round. Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. And I connected with a few people. They had my email. They saw that because I always have like a little signature. Saw I was a web designer.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Email. And that's true. Email is the go-to instead of getting all the other information. Because as long as you at least have that, you can get everything else you need,
Okay, so top app number 3. What's going on?
Yes. Top app number 3. Let's see, let me go to the phone again. Let's see. I'm thinking. I also really like this app called Deliveries. So if you shop online a lot or you're getting a lot of packages, that allows you to input your tracking information and it will pretty much show you where it is on the map in terms of it getting to you and also how many days before it arrives. So it keeps you organized when you have a lot of packages coming to you at once. And if you have an iPhone, because I think it's only for iPhone now that I mention it, it also lets you add it into your today view where, you can swipe in from your home screen and see your little widgets. So it's there. It also has a Mac app as well. Same thing. It can be a widget up there. So once you go across platforms, you kind of win me over. And it got me with that because then I could be on any device and track my packages. Deliveries.
Okay. All right. Because I guess you got a lot of packages. I
Yes,
got to get
yes.
more of those self-made gifts for myself. It feels like Christmas when you get a package. Like, oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. Still no idea. All
So
right, I need your two and
okay,
three.
my two is my Google Drive
Okay.
because I
I
use it
Google
in
Drive.
conjunction with the Trello. I do a lot of notes, ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I got an ideas. I got a Google Doc. Like, oh, let me just
Okay.
open up my doc. So
Mm-hmm.
Google Doc and Google Drive within that.
Mm.
And number three would be my preview.
Preview.
And preview is basically it's like an Instagram. I can move this. I get to style
Yes.
my Instagram.
Oh,
I
that's
like when
neat.
so I have already what it looks like now, and then
Yeah.
I'm still working on stuff, up here. But you see how
Okay.
pretty it is right here,
Yes. I
So
like
I
that.
can keep up the prettiness. I can keep it
Okay. You have
up.
a flow, a layout,
Yeah.
like a theme. So yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking about
not only
doing.
that, I can also, oh, what do I want to comment here? So I can put my comment out there already. Then
Oh.
when I want to post, all I got to do is just press a button. It'll save it. I'll save the image. I can even delete the image off
Mm.
of my photos, but still have the image
Wow.
there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. That's it.
But
So if you want to get your Instagram game up,
yeah, I got you. Definitely,
that is
definitely.
a must have right
I got to
there.
make sure I have. Let me double check now that we're talking about this. Let me see if I have that because I need to get that. All right. Yep, getting that. Let that download there.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm gonna get long day. Okay.
Yes, long day might just change your life.
I think we can stay with the top threes. So okay, because I do want to get into one last thing as we're closing this out is
Okay.
over 150K.
Yeah.
Like, when did you know it was like, whoa, this is growing? Like, what number were you at? Like, were you in the, 1K number or you're in the 10K number, 3K number? Like, when was it that it really hit you?
I will say earlier when I started YouTube and I was doing like the tutorial videos, and I think when I broke like 1,000, and then I hit 5,000, and then it's like when you start getting in that 10 and 20 and 30 range, it's like people really care what I have to say. Like they tune in. Like this is interesting. You start to kind of realize like you're building something bigger than you probably imagined. And then when I hit 100, it was just like, I don't know, mind blowing. And even at 150, it's like eventually you always pay attention to your analytics, but it's like sometimes I guess you're working so hard towards the next thing, you don't really sit and take in what you've accomplished. And it's like when I hear that number, it's like, wow, I do have that right now. It's just almost like surreal. But I think it first hit me with the lower numbers. Like people actually care what you have to say, and they want to watch your videos and figure out what you are doing and things like that. So,
All right. So another question would be, what is your secret to success then? I know everyone has a different picture of what success is.
yeah,
I understand that. But I
hmm
feel like you're doing what you love
yeah,
and you're doing it full time. And I feel like that's pretty successful.
yeah. I could definitely say that as well. Like that would be something that would define success to me. um,
So what is your definition of success and what is your secret towards that?
mm, my definition would be kind of like you said, doing something you love and being able to be happy with that and live off of that. And then as far as like my recipe, I would say one thing I am is relentless. Like when it came to YouTube, you have to be relentless or anything really that you want that's not per se coming overnight. And YouTube definitely did not like put me in a position where I could quit my job overnight. So it's like you just have to be relentless. When you feel like quitting, just think about how it would be if you don't quit and you reach where you want to be. So just be relentless, keep with it, stay consistent, be persistent. That's kind of like even what motivated me making shirts after the word relentless, because I just feel like that's how you have to be in life with anything that you want. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with it.
Okay, so when you say that you have to be relentless, when did you started to really be consistent? Because I know you said that
Yes.
we're really consistent in the beginning. And I feel like a lot of us entrepreneurs, a lot of us business owners, in the beginning, it can be a little bit rough. It can be kind of rocky. Just knowing who you are, getting to know your schedule, what you work best with. When did you started really being like consistent?
I will say when I started noticing the impact that it had when I was not consistent versus when I was consistent. So earlier when I was like starting on my YouTube journey, I had a lot of things on my plate, like everyone else, and I was not consistent. And I noticed that would greatly impact pretty much my business as a whole. And what would happen is I would go weeks without doing anything. And so all this momentum that I've built up to, all of this, this larger audience that I've gained is now sitting here waiting, and I'm not delivering. And so of course the number just drops, and then it's like I have to start all over again. And it's just constantly this tremendous high and then this tremendous low. And I'm like, this is not healthy. This is not working for me to be where I want to be. So in realizing that, I just try to be more consistent. I've even tried to do a video every Friday. That doesn't work for me right now. My schedule was different. And it's just like, I started to dread having to have that video done, and it started taking the fun out of it for me. So I had to find that balance, which for me right now is at least being able to promise a video a week. Hopefully I'll be able to narrow it down to a day if my audience cares to have that. But I think they're fine as long as I put out something and keep it consistent. So that's
How long did that take you? You know, because people think things happen overnight. They think that they can get consistent overnight and they can get consistent in a week. You know, how long did that take you to get that consistency, like really revved up and really going?
It took a little bit, but I think with it being a video a week, it was something more obtainable. Like I didn't go too far and say, 3 videos a week, then that would have been a lot harder to like reach. So I made a goal that was realistic, which was a video a week. So it took a couple months, maybe of that. It didn't take too long for me to make that type of transition. But if I made that number higher, I think it would have been more of a challenge. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I know for me, consistency has definitely been something that's been difficult, especially because I have kids and everything like that. And my schedule just changes all the time. And so just finding a way to really balance everything has been really, really difficult. But I like it. I love the motivation that you're giving us.
Hey.
So where can people find Techmeout?
Awesome. They can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter under the same handle, which is Techmeout, spelled TECHME0UT. The O was taken, so.
Got you.
Yeah, the same on everything.
Thank you so much for joining me here. Techmeout.
Thank you for having me.
love what we discussed. I know we're going to be doing some future things together.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindamendable.com. Sign up for the Blog Cure, which is an awesome course that I created that will help you set up your blog or take your blog to the next level. And join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.